Welcome back to the Click Chick podcast. We are back with Lindsey Lay. Hello.
Hello. It's me.
This is for part 2, which is our Boudoir gossip episode. If you didn't tune in last week, go back and listen to that one where we talk all about boudoir photography, what it is, how to grow a photography business in boudoir, all the things, social media,
100%
everything.
of the things. Authenticity.
Yes, amazing.
Posing, everything.
So much.
I love it. We're yappers.
This is the fun part where we get to not be technical and
this.
just kind of like talk a little smack.
I'm stoked.
Are you familiar with Reddit and like the Am I the Asshole?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
you know like YTA, NTA, all the terms.
I literally just talked about this. Who did I talk about this? With my stepdad, actually. That's hilarious.
Nice.
That's hilarious. Anyway.
Just a little casual stepdad
just
Redditor.
Casual.
Yeah.
Look at you, Richard. Look at you.
Good
Amazing.
on you, Richard.
Good on you.
So I'm gonna just like throw you in. I don't think we need a proper intro.
Okay.
Like
you see
the
my
listeners,
eyeballs? I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, the listeners know what to expect at this point. This is not our first.
I also
rodeo.
know what to expect. We're fine.
And
We're
these
good.
are always the most popular episodes. I am
it.
realizing that the photographers who listen to this love some gossip.
We love some tea. I love that for us.
Here for it.
Incredible.
So first story.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for gifting my husband boudoir photography pictures? I recently got married, and for my groom's wedding gift, I gave him professionally shot and produced photos that came from a special company that provides boudoir photography. The service is discreet, classy, and woman-owned. I spent a few $1,000s on a package that came in 2 parts. I could get the first set of pictures now and pay off the balance for an album to give 6 months later on Christmas. On the wedding day, he seemed to be underwhelmed by the gift, but I thought maybe the day was overwhelming, and I also gave him another practical gift. Well, it's Christmas morning here, and we decided to exchange gifts after midnight. Here I am, 12:19 a.m. on AITA, wondering why my gift of a small photograph album with about 16 photos of me posed in sexy lingerie sparked such a heated debate. When he opened his gift, he didn't seem into it. He says the gift feels like it's all about me, and he doesn't like that the photographer, who I explained was a woman, got to see me in those poses. He would prefer something on his list. Of course, I got him some other practical gifts from his list too. We got into a heated debate about how the gift is really for me, and he doesn't like the gift. I told him I was offended, and it's not nice to criticize the gift in the exact moment he received it, and he should hold his critique for a later time. Am I the asshole for giving my husband professionally shot sexy photos and being offended when he expressed his dislike for them?
Divorce. So that's wild. Okay.
How rude.
Literally. So, okay, hold on. I have experienced both ends of that, to where I have personally given an ex boudoir photos or spicy photos.
Yeah.
And they just seemed so underwhelmed. And then the next partner I was with was so like, oh my God, these are the best things I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Even though they see you naked all day, every day.
Because what a sweet gift.
What a sweet gift. And they are able, that second partner is able to see the profound, like beautiful confidence building thing that you were able to give to yourself and to them.
Yeah.
So like, of course it's for you, but it's also for you, bestie.
Yeah.
You know, like, yes, it's for me, but it is a gift for you. And by me being more confident because of these photos, you get a better wife or a better partner or a better whoever.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, honey, she's not the asshole.
But also, like, I love Schitt's Creek, where Moira
Take
says,
naked photos of yourself.
yes, because, like, you'll never be this young and hot again, like, whatever she says. And I'm just like, yeah. So, like, I do my own boudoir every, like, 3 to 6 months, just, like, me and a tripod. But
You and me and a tripod, babe. Amazing.
But, yeah, it's, like, they're for us, but also, who doesn't want to see pictures of your partner, your spouse, whatever,
Feeling themselves.
and looking really good. Like, yeah, you might see your partner naked all the time, but like, did you see her like that? Isn't that your favorite pose in bed? Like, you don't want to like remember this? Yeah, like, what if we're apart for a week? What are you gonna look at?
I've had so many couple sessions. During couple sessions, I also like do individuals as well, and I've had so many partners be like, "Girl, I didn't know she could do that." Or I didn't know he could do that. And I'm like, you're welcome, bestie.
You just added some
You're
things
literally
to their list.
welcome. Exactly. But no, I've seen plenty of people, both from my own experience and then like my clients' experience, where they will text me, they'll call me and be like, hey, my partner is not super stoked. And I'm like, that is irrelevant. Yeah. That's irrelevant. If you're super stoked about all of this, like, whatever, fuck their feelings about this.
Right. But also, like just
gosh.
from a loving, like, you're
Yeah.
supposed to be your best friend.
Exactly.
Like,
That's your
ultimate
biggest
partner.
hype person.
Why are you not, even if you don't feel it, why
Exactly.
are you not lying? And just,
Literally.
like, not lying necessarily, but, like, hyping it up more
Yeah.
than you feel
Exactly.
in the moment.
Well, something that really resonated me with, like, love languages recently is it's kind of irrelevant what your love language is when you're trying to love someone else.
Exactly.
So you're supposed to love them, or let's say my partner's supposed to love me in my love languages.
Yeah.
If mine personally, my love language is acts of service and his is physical touch, I'm not going to do things for him to show him love. I'm going to touch him. I'm going to love him. I'm going to, make him feel that physical touch as the act of love versus like cooking or cleaning or whatever.
And it's like you're going to do that anyway because like that's how you feel like expressing love, but
But I know what he wants.
Yeah.
And to like have your spouse or your partner give you such an intimate gift that you know that they were uncomfortable with this person for a few minutes. Like they went out of their comfort zone to hire someone, to pay someone, to pose in front of someone.
Which is so vulnerable.
It's such a vulnerable experience. And then they're like, I don't like that you did this.
Right.
I don't like that it's about you. Girl, I don't like you. I don't like you.
How do you feel about the jealousy of another like photographer seeing your spouse in like vulnerable poses?
I think I'm a little biased just because I am a boudoir photographer that I'm like, I don't care.
That's
but
how
I do.
I feel too. It's like I can't really relate to that.
Yeah,
feeling.
for sure.
Like
for sure. I respect that it makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But you should also respect your partner and their decisions. So they didn't put themselves in like some raunchy motel that's paid by the hour with some crusty dusty man they met on the internet who offered a $10 photo session.
Yeah.
She literally paid thousands. So she probably went to a professional studio or a beautiful hotel or a beautiful Airbnb. And like it was a professional thing.
Yeah.
Like she didn't just on a whim do this with some random shrandom,
Well, it's female owned.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, I struggle with it.
Yeah.
I just can't get over the lack of support because, like, if a man comes to me and they're, like, so excited because I got a new golf club, I'm like, yeah, baby, tell me all about it. What color is it? How far can the golf ball go? Like, I do not care, but, like, I'm going to hype you up because I can see that you're excited about it.
I heard this thing once that, not that we're talking about mansplaining, but when your partner is explaining something, not mansplaining.
Yeah.
Let me be very specific. They see them as like a 5-year-old that's excited about dinosaurs.
That's exactly how I view it.
They're just excited. They're just stupid little boys or stupid little girls or stupid little children. And they're just silly and they're just excited about that fucking T-Rex. That's it. Like, just be excited about my T-Rex.
Right.
Damn it.
Because we all have that little inner child that just wants attention. So, like, give me attention. Like, I just want to talk about my little matcha order. And I'm like, I got strawberry syrup in it. And it was so good.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Like,
did you use oat milk?
Yeah.
This is a conversation they should have been having. Where'd you get that lingerie, babe? Did you want to put it on for me? I'd love to see you. Oh my gosh, this is a beautiful pose. You look so beautiful. Oh, I love your eyes in this. Like, it's not that hard.
It's not that hard. I love, like, complimenting people and whatever. So when they show me something, I'm like, okay, let me find 2 to 3 things I like about it, and that's what I'm gonna
in a genuine way.
Yeah, and it's legit. Like, it's structured, but like
well,
I mean,
okay, that's how our brains work. Yeah, that's fine. It's not. It doesn't make it any less genuine that it's structured.
Exactly.
We're just riddled. We're just riddled with the ADHD and such. Like that's what it's gotta be. Yeah.
Wait. So am I the asshole for the photos?
No,
she's not the asshole.
She's not the asshole.
He's the asshole.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
definitely, 100%.
And real quick though, about the wedding gift, like he could have been overwhelmed.
That one's valid. I've had a lot of people do that, and I have had some grooms.
Same.
It's like they're uncomfortable. Not all, but some are uncomfortable being like photographed as they're looking at photos of their wife.
Exactly.
Half naked.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I would feel awkward about that too. Personally, I wouldn't know like how to react. Yeah.
Your first Christmas as a husband and wife, girl.
Yeah.
Divorce.
And also, like, on the honeymoon, he should have been like, oh my gosh, those photos. Slay. By the way. You look so good.
Yeah, slay. Slay. I 100% see him saying that. Slay.
Yeah, it's masculine.
No, it's perfect. I love it.
We can all say slay.
We're all androgynous in this way. That's perfect. Just slay.
All right, you ready for the next story?
Oh my God, I'm always ready.
This one's so good.
Okay, I'm ready.
Am I the asshole for asking my boyfriend to get rid of his ex-wife's boudoir photos that he took? My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years. We're generally very happy and committed. I have never felt so loved before. Recently, I stumbled upon pictures of his ex-wife in lingerie in the bottom of a drawer. I gasped, cried, and now I can't unsee them. When I asked him about it, he nonchalantly stated that those are old and he's had them in the same drawer for years. He also stated he does not use them for sexual pleasure and had no desire to ever get back together with her. In the 20 years of marriage to his ex, he said the relationship was toxic and unhappy. The moments captured in the photographs are rare happy times. He regards it as a significant token of his life, as she has never enjoyed her picture being taken or embraced her sex life. Her allowing him to do so is a very important gift to him. He is also very proud that he took those photos and developed it himself. After the shock and realization that it was nothing secretive, I am still struggling. In the past, I had come across photos of naked women on his phone. I told him it makes me feel hurt, uncomfortable, and inadequate. He apologized and didn't think it was anything significant. He deleted the pictures and it has not been an issue since. I trust his fidelity. 20 years is a lot of time and feelings. I have never been married, so I won't understand. However, I still find it weird and uncomfortable that in all the possible mementos, her boudoir photos are what he keeps and regards as precious. I want them gone. We have often talked about marriage, and he has bought a ring. However, I don't know if I can live with those photos being so important or him collecting any other person's naked photos except for mine. I told him that I don't think I can marry him knowing he wants to keep them. He told me he doesn't want to be with someone who thinks he's a weirdo. Am I the asshole for asking him to throw away his ex-wife's precious gift?
I'm sorry, I'm unwell.
I'd be so mad. I'm a jealous person.
Throw those away now.
And he's like, oh, they're just happy memories.
Have different happy memories. Climb a mountain, take pictures at the top of the mountain. Send your ex-wife titty pics to the trash.
What if he censored them and just put little stickers over her boobs?
Not my wife. Perfect. Nope.
I couldn't do it.
I'd be so mad. Actually, I have been that bad before.
Ooh.
And that's a no from me, dog.
Yeah.
I understand the psychology of it as a person who, previously was in long-term relationships and I was married. And that's almost a decade of your life. For me personally, and I can't imagine 2 decades.
Yeah.
But also, honey, do you know what I did? I deleted them.
Yeah.
I deleted them.
Yeah.
It's not... who cares if it was a happy memory? You can keep that in your head.
Right.
You don't need physical proof of that happy memory unless you plan on going back to that person or unless you are holding some kind of flame for them.
Yeah.
No, girly pop.
It's the fact that they're nudie photos that I'm having a hard time with. If you're divorced and you keep your wedding album, those are memories. You don't have to burn the album because you're in a rage.
Exactly.
So those can be happy memories. Mm-hmm. But why do you need to still see your ex-wife naked?
Literally.
Plus, it would make me insecure because, it sounds like they're older. He was married for 20 years. At what point in the relationship did you take these photos? Is it some, hot 20-year-old photos?
Exactly.
And now y'all are in your 40s, 50s,
Exactly.
and you're, insecure because of that?
I think it even sounds like she's younger because she's never been married.
Yeah.
And if she's saying that I've never been married, she probably has not also been in a very long-term relationship because most people that have been in, 7, 8, 9-year relationship don't say that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're not like, oh, well, I haven't been married because you're practically married at that point.
Yeah.
If you're living with someone for, almost a decade of your life, that kind of thing. I think that she was just trying to appease him and that's really kind and stuff. But also, stand your ground, girl.
Yeah.
I salute you. If you need me to go into that house with your permission, because this is not a crime, and burn those pictures with your permission, I will do it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Oh, I would have gotten rid of them without even confronting him. Find him in the sock drawer, gone.
Goodbye.
I dare him to ask me,
yes,
hey, babe, did you do something with the nude photos of my ex-wife? Nope, deleted. Bye.
Great question, babe. Great question.
Yeah.
I, in fact, did. Thank you.
Plus, as the ex-wife, I would be really uncomfortable knowing that he kept those photos.
Yeah. When I've broken up with someone, I've literally gone on their phone, gone in that little hidden folder, deleted it.
Because
those are my butt cheeks.
People.
No. And my thing is it's not that I don't even trust them. It's just that, no, bitch, you don't get me. You don't get my butt cheeks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You lost your cheek privileges.
Exactly. The cheeks are no longer yours. They are someone else's and or my own. Thank you. No, that's wild. I wish there was a follow-up to this.
I do too. Let me look and see.
I need Girly Pop to be like, oh, okay, so actually he burned them for me.
Sometimes they post an update. I don't think this one did.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
they
really
didn't.
upsetting.
But the overall vote was not the asshole.
No, for sure.
So definitely not the asshole.
Sure.
He's raging.
And he's like, oh, I don't want to marry someone that thinks I'm a weirdo. Then don't be a weirdo. Like, it's not that hard. If
he can find someone that's okay with that. It's just not her. Like,
exactly.
okay, you're not compatible.
Exactly. And that's totally fine. But, oof.
I know. I want to know if they got married.
I'm sure they didn't.
They might have. I think it's a newer post. Oh, no, it's 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Ooh.
I'm so disappointed there's no
That's really
edit.
upsetting.
They, like, left a couple comments. Like, thanks for the laugh. Thanks for your insight. But,
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Could you maybe give us a follow-up? That man, ew, gross, crusty.
Yeah, don't marry him.
No,
Run.
literally don't. Run.
You are not the asshole.
Run.
He
Do not walk.
definitely is.
That's annoying.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Literally.
Run.
Take all his money. Take his money, though.
Oh, yeah.
And then run.
Yeah. And take the photos.
Punish
him anyway.
Take the photos. Exactly.
The photos. Yeah.
And also, question, if he's had them in that drawer for more than 2 years, because if they've been together for 2 years, like, how... Did you not clean out? Did you not open that drawer? I'm sure at some point he knows they're in there. Whatever.
Oh, he knows.
Whatever.
He looks at them.
He does.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't be in that drawer if he didn't.
Yeah.
Like, I've got plenty of drawers that I don't know what's in them, but they're in, like, a room I don't use.
Yeah.
Not next to my bed. Crusty. Crusty, dusty man.
Crusty.
Sure, his name's Craig.
Ooh, this next story goes along with what we talked about before with having people in the room during a boudoir session.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
In the room during a boudoir session, that's it.
You're the spy.
Nothing spicier than that.
I love that for us.
Am I the asshole for asking a model's friend to leave during the photo shoot because he was making me uncomfortable?
Ew.
Throwaway account because I don't want this Discord on my main. I, 26 female, am a photographer who travels to conventions and does photo shoots of mostly cosplayers. Something that I offer is boudoir shoots, meaning shoots that are more intimate and revealing than a normal shoot, not pornographic, but sexy, you could say. These shoots usually take place in the cosplayer's hotel room, my hotel room, or rarely I'll rent a studio nearby. For everybody's comfortability, I ask that my partner be allowed to stay close by during the shoot, 27 male, in another room or in the hallway, if not in the room assisting me, and I recommend that the cosplayer bring a friend too for their own comfort. A few days ago, I was at a convention and a female cosplayer booked me for a boudoir shoot. We went to my hotel room because her room was shared by a lot of people and didn't want to ask them to clear out. The cosplayer brought her male friend, and I was fine with this. He asked if he could do anything to help, and I said, no, thank you. My partner and I have everything we need. And he smiled and said, okay, and sat in a chair in the corner. Shoot is going on and going well, and eventually I hear camera clicks that aren't my own. So I look over, and he's taking pictures of me. I ask him what he's doing, and he says, oh, I'm just putting this on my Insta story. Don't worry. I ask him not to do that, please, because I have a professional image to keep up, especially when I'm doing this kind of shoot. And he says, oh, well, I already posted a few. I can't do anything about that. So I just ask him to not post anymore, and he says, okay, and looks annoyed. The shoot is going on more, and I ask the cosplayer if she wants to start removing parts of her clothes because in the booking form, she said she wanted partial nudity in some of the shots. She says yes, and the friend whistles and says, ooh, it's about to get hot in here. And the cosplayer looks a little uncomfortable at that, so I ask her if she wants him there or if she wants to contact another friend to replace him or anything, and she says no. He's just joking around. So I say, okay. Shoot keeps going, cosplayer removes her bra, and I take a few shots, and I notice the friend is taking pictures again, but with his sound muted so we wouldn't hear. I ask him what he's doing, and he says nothing, but the cosplayer is looking really uncomfortable now, so I tell her that the friend is being really inappropriate, and I think either he should leave or the shoot should stop here. We had about 30 minutes left of shooting booked. And the friend gets upset and starts shouting at me and calling me names. So I tell the cosplayer that we can discuss rescheduling or reimbursement later, but I cannot deal with her friend. My partner and I packed up our stuff and asked them to leave. Spicy.
That's wild.
That's so disrespectful.
It is.
What's the relationship with the friend? Like, it sounds like they're platonic friends.
Yeah. I've had plenty of people, like friends, that will come along to sessions if clients ask me if that's okay. I'm like, of course. But they hype them up in that way, and sometimes I get more uncomfy than they do.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, should they feel uncomfortable? Are they safe? Like, do they need me to step in? But what makes me super uncomfortable about this, like the first instance, I was like, okay, it's about to get hot in here. Maybe he's just like, oh, stupid boy, whatever, doesn't know what to say. Because, like, sometimes they just don't know what to say, and it gets taken a smidge differently than it should have been.
Yeah, like, he could be uncomfortable.
Exactly. He was just trying to, like, hype her up. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt for that first one.
Yeah.
But then the turning his silence on for his camera?
Yeah.
Sir, you crusty. You crusty.
And also, it's like, the first photos, whatever, she's in a normal outfit. I don't know if she was wearing some cosplayer fit or what it was.
For sure.
But,
like, I get that.
You can take behind-the-scenes photos of that. I don't care.
Exactly.
Now she's being vulnerable, like,
boobs
out
out
here. Yeah. And you're taking pictures for why?
Girl, for why?
What is the reason?
Where are they going? Because they're not going on your Insta story. Because my areolas, they're not going to be able to get kept up on Instagram.
Exactly.
Like, they're going to... No. I have problems. with that.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, ugh, the photographer is annoying me because, like, it's a cosplay thing. You know that they're going to take behind the scenes. You know that they're going to take a bunch of pictures. Like, it's a literal convention.
Yeah.
It's like, I used to do a lot of fitness photography stuff during bodybuilding shows and stuff. So I know that their friends are, like, hyping them up, taking behind the scenes pictures and whatever.
Yeah.
So as a photographer, I was like, girl, it's not about you. Calm down. Calm down. Like, your professional image, nobody's going to see you on the 12 people that this man follows and follow him. But then he turns his camera off or his silence on, and then he's rude about it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's where
I'm
I
just
lost my
taking
shit.
pictures of myself. Like, no, you're not.
No, sir, you're not. And what do you mean don't worry about it? Like, stop. Like,
Yeah.
He's icky. He's icky. And then for him to yell at her or to yell at anyone, it's not your shoot, first of all. You don't need to be here.
Yeah.
I would have, if it were me, if I were that photographer, I would have told him to leave.
Without even asking the girl and just being like, you need to get out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would have said to the client, hey, I'm going to ask my partner to leave as well. That way it's just you and I in the room. We're just two females.
Yeah.
But I want your friend to leave. So either you stay or you both leave.
Yeah.
Like, it's just no.
Which is what they said at the end. She was like, either he leaves or we leave.
Oh, really?
Which
okay,
maybe could have been worded differently. It seems a little, like, stark. I like being like, he's leaving instead of, like, asking.
Exactly.
Like, oh, are you uncomfortable? Like, you can tell she's uncomfortable.
Exactly.
And you're uncomfortable.
Exactly.
And, like, your comfort as a photographer in these types of sessions is just as important.
Well, and especially them being in the photographer's room.
Yeah.
Versus the client's room.
Yeah.
If the client's room, you could just leave as the photographer.
Oh,
you know.
Right. Yeah, this does say they packed up their stuff and asked them to leave. Which I guess just meant everybody left. But regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. As the photographer, would you reimburse her? Would you, like,
but she's not getting the figure. Yeah. I would do one or the other.
Yeah.
But if I reimburse her because I feel uncomfortable with her, that's one thing.
Yeah.
99% of the time, I would probably just reschedule with her, though.
Yeah.
Because she didn't make me feel uncomfy. Her choice of person to make her feel comfy.
Yeah.
Made me uncomfy. Does that make
Well, it sounds like she'd have more fun if he wasn't there.
Exactly.
She was being so, I don't know. I feel bad because I think, like, the cosplayer community, there's so many, like, sweet people in it.
Oh
and,
my
like,
God.
so well-intentioned. So for her to, like, not be
precious.
comfortable is so sad.
It's because the cosplay community are my favorite little nerdy people. Like, we are all nerdy in our own way, but the cosplay nerdy is just, like, so precious and innocent. But then they've got, like, whips, chains, and random fishnets and, like, full-ass costumes.
Yeah.
I just had a couple come into my studio. It was just for her. She was in her 50s, and her husband came along with her. They brought their digital camera that he took pictures of her in the outfits.
Oh, wow.
They're precious. They've been married for a hot minute. And she's a cosplayer. And Girly Pop had everything from her cute little pigtails and her, like, little floofy tutus to, like, riding crop and fishnets and thigh-high boots.
Heck yeah.
And everything in between in a kimono. And it was just beautiful. It was so much fun. But he was not an uncomfortable party.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't make me feel uncomfy when he was hyping his person up.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
Like, there's a big difference. I always say, if you make me feel uncomfortable, like, that's really saying something.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 10 years. I've seen every single thing you could possibly see.
Oh, right.
And, like,
yeah.
If you make me feel uncomfortable, then something's really wrong.
Yeah,
you know?
and just his intentions were to be
gross.
creepy. Like,
yes.
It doesn't seem like they've had that type of relationship. I don't know personally why you would invite a friend like that. But, you know, some people do have close guy friends. I mean, I have guy friends, but I would never invite them to a boudoir session.
I think that people that might have wavering self-confidence will invite someone that has hyped them up platonically in the past to these things because they think that'll make them feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I've personally had that happen. I had a male photographer at a workshop I taught quite a while ago, and his female friend was one of the, models during the workshop, and they knew that they were each going to be there. I didn't personally know that because it didn't matter, because she told him about it. She was like, hey, I'm the model. If you want to come do like one of the photographer spots during the workshop, I'd love to have you there. So that was their conversation ahead of time. So when I saw them interact, I was like, ooh, yeah. I don't like this. I feel uncomfy, kind of like that. And I'm not a fan, friend. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, not the asshole.
No, definitely not.
100 million
percent not the asshole.
I would definitely creep me out too. All right, next story. Disappointing boudoir experience. What should I do? Last month, I had a boudoir session as the client. Overall, I found the experience and the final results to be disappointing. Things to note, I do not struggle with body image issues. I love my body, how it works, and all it does for me, so this is not my problem with the photos. The quality and editing of the photo is not really a problem either. I'm a hobby photographer. I work in news, so I'm taking pictures frequently for work and have been for quite some time. I've taken photography classes for fun too, including a class on boudoir photography. The photographer I hired has a good portfolio and good reviews. So I went in expecting the session to be fun and uplifting. Everyone I talk to about boudoir sessions raves about how you leave feeling so good and the photos make you feel great. But I left feeling worse about myself. Before we started, the photographer gave this speech about how we don't need to love our bodies at all. We can just respect what they do for us and leave it at that. It did not feel like a hype conversation in any way, and I found it to be a downer conversation in general as someone who really likes how my body looks. During the session itself, she gave minimal guidance on posing, and I really feel like it shows in the photos, which I think is where my disappointment is coming from. Some of the positions look awkward in photos and are not really flattering in general. I think most of them feel more like a just for fun photo shoot rather than a hot and steamy type photo shoot. As someone who takes photos for fun and for work sometimes, I recognize the value in hiring someone to take professional photos, but this experience is really the one time I was left feeling like I could have done a better job if I had just taken the photos myself. So my questions are, 1, is it really worth expressing my discontent with these photos to her? And 2, is it worth attempting to take some that I actually enjoy and like myself with the limited knowledge I have on boudoir photos? I'm getting married this year and planning to gift my partner with a book of these images. I feel like it's a lack of communication.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't tell the photographer, I want this to be hot, steamy, sexy, and just kind of left it open-ended. Like, I want boudoir photos of myself. So they went more playful and cute, which might be that photographer's style. Yeah,
that's true. I don't know how long that photographer's been a boudoir photographer either.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about who they hired, what they saw. They said it was a good portfolio.
That makes it kind of hard because I've had clients that have that similar experience then come to me and tell me exactly what they disliked about that. Not what they disliked about the photos necessarily, but the experience itself. And it's very hard for me to have an opinion on that because we don't know anything about this other photographer.
Yeah.
I found that a lot of photographers are very multifaceted and they shoot weddings and they shoot families and they shoot babies and twice a year they shoot boudoir. And there's nothing against that. The issue with that though is they need to have kind of a posing flow that works for most bodies because they don't have the time and the resources to be able to really deviate from that.
Yeah.
Because they don't have enough time to practice it because they're working with families and babies and weddings and all that stuff. And that's totally fine. But if she went into that seeing a kind of diverse body of work, like her portfolio supposedly was, she might not have actually been seeing as diverse of a portfolio as she thought.
Well, because, I mean, if you see 2 galleries, you're like, oh, amazing, gorgeous, whatever.
Exactly.
And also, if you're not looking at full galleries and you're just looking at someone's website or Instagram, you're seeing their best shots, not the awkward ones.
Exactly.
So if you're booking a 45-minute, hour-long session, like, you're going to get a decent amount of photos, whereas she's probably going to pick 2 or 3 to actually use to promote things.
Exactly. I think she should absolutely, this client, this person, this Redditor, should definitely try to take her own.
Yeah.
She is probably going to be very disappointed in the process itself. Maybe not the photos. She's probably going to look delicious, fabulous, wonderful in the photos. But the process itself, when you're taking your own photos, as you know and as I know, it is humbling.
Yeah.
It is humbling, honey, because for every 37 shots, you get one that you might like because you can't see what's going on. Regardless of you seeing what's in that like little tiny, monitor on your camera or on your phone if you're like doing a remote shutter. Yeah. That doesn't show what you're going to actually look like.
No, like you can get an educated guess.
Exactly.
But like still, I'm like, oh, that was humbling.
Exactly.
Like, that I thought that looked cute. Yeah. Oh.
Or you're like, oh, my booty looks thick as fuck. It looks good, honey. And then in the picture, you're like, where'd it go? Yeah, where'd she go? Literally, where'd she go? So you have to over exaggerate it when you're looking at your own stuff.
Yeah.
To be able to like really communicate to the photo, to your camera, what it needs to look like. Yeah. So when I tell my clients, break your back, honey, if you're not starting to cramp, you're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm. If it does not hurt, we don't need to do stretches at some point.
Literally, if you did not do cat-cow, if you did not do the yoga beforehand, honey, you did it wrong. I told you to stretch.
It's so
but
real.
Yeah, it's really tough though, because I don't want her to have an experience that might negatively affect her body image.
Yeah.
Where she has this great like self-confidence already. It could be very detrimental to have a bad boudoir session.
Yeah.
Where I'm grateful she didn't have a bad boudoir session.
Yeah.
It just was lackluster.
Well, I want to know what her expectations were, too. Like, she might have had just unrealistic expectations. And I know she said she loves her body and whatever, but, like, we see these other images and it's like, I want to look like that girl. Yeah. It's like when you go to the hairdresser and you're like, this is the hair I want, but you actually want the face that looks like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I do that all the time.
And the
I'm
makeup
like,
skills.
Look how beautiful she is.
Exactly. And the makeup skills and stuff, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so fun.
Oh, yeah. I have a friend who's a makeup artist, and it's so funny when she's like, clients will show me a photo of somebody who has none of the same features of them. And I'm just like, you're not going to look like this girl, right? Like, you're a different race.
Exactly.
Like, you're different, like, bone structure.
It's like, I'm saying I want thick, juicy lips. Girl, I got medium. I got medium lips, and that's perfect. Right. I love them. Yeah. But I'm not going to get thick, juicy lips from a makeup artist. Like,
like you can't show lip filler photos.
Exactly.
And be like, this is what
I would like. Yeah. Extra gloss. Thank you.
Now, if you're going for color, that's fine.
Done.
Like, you're not going to look. Yeah. So maybe it was also unrealistic expectations.
I feel like a lot of people go ham on Pinterest. And I'm like, could you not? Could you just never go on Pinterest once again? Thank you. Because they see all these very highly retouched photos or these beautiful, like, light and airy photos, and then they come to me and they're like, my studio is not light and airy.
Exactly.
Girl, I'm not working with wispy white curtains. I mean, I have white curtains, but nothing's wispy. Nothing's like,
you're definitely a moody, very sexy moody.
Exactly. Yeah. And they don't realize also when you go light and airy, you cover nothing up, honey.
Oh, you see every little bit of cellulite and
everything you might not know is even there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, sorry. So when they have an idea, they're like, oh, I want to do this window thing. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it for you. And then they're like, never mind. I didn't want to do this window thing. I was like, girl, I got you. Let me do this for you. Yeah. This is my whole job.
That's why we experiment a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's really interesting. I think she should try her own thing. I don't know if it's necessary to even tell the photographer that she doesn't like them because it doesn't seem that she can articulate why she doesn't like them.
Yeah, all she said was awkward posing. And so it's
like she said that it was like lackluster essentially. Yeah. Like, what do you want then?
Yeah. So, and also, I don't mind the little pre-speech the person gave about like I can't remember what they said.
Essentially body neutrality.
Yeah.
Don't tear yourself down because you're not feeling the most beautiful every single day.
Yeah, respect what your body does for you and leave it at that.
I do think that, so for me personally, this is my own like little personal rant agenda, whatever. I never want to know your deepest insecurities. A lot of clients come in, they're saying, well, I don't like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear what you don't like because then you go into your session being like, oh, I don't like my arms. Let me do stupid shit with my arms. And then you mess up my posing.
Yeah.
I'm not showing off your arms.
Now. Yeah.
I can see what you don't like.
Yeah.
I can see how you're moving. I can see your body language. I've been doing this for a decade. I've worked with thousands of clients, truly thousands of clients. And I can tell what you don't like about yourself just by you existing in my presence. Yeah. But it's not the thing we need to focus on. We need to focus the good things.
Also, like, the things that people are not in love with about themselves, they might love if you photograph it in a way they haven't seen before. So, like, if they're like, avoid, I don't like my hips or whatever.
Okay, girl.
It's like, okay,
I'm going to give you thicker hips.
I do. Like, I'm going to show you how they look
exactly.
good. Yeah.
Let me show you your thigh brow. Yeah. You're welcome. And then you're
I love the thigh brow.
Oh, me too. I love a thigh brow. I just, when I'm laying down, I'm like, oh, girl, hello.
To
myself. To myself. Oh, my God. I teach everybody about a thigh brow.
Yeah.
Because no matter the size of a client, they will always want to see the most flattering parts of themselves. And like you said, they might not even know what they are.
Yeah.
They might see them on someone else and be like, oh my God, amazing.
Yeah.
But not know that they have that or have the ability to have that.
Yeah.
My favorite is when someone's like, I have a pancake booty. I have no butt. And I'm like, I'm going to give you cheeks to the cheekless, baby.
I love when
cheekless.
people are like, I'm a flat booty. And I'm like, I'll show you.
I will give you what you
Plus,
think you
like,
don't
people
have.
don't really see themselves from behind.
No.
And, like, especially from different angles.
Literally.
You know what I love is, like,
Yes.
the H&M mirrors, how you can, like, angle them different
That's
ways.
fair.
It's
That's
like,
fair.
I'm always... This is too narcissistic for
I
the
love it.
podcast. But
I
I
love it.
like do a little body check. I'm like, what are we working with back there?
Literally, as you should. Honey, please. It's fine. It's fine. I make...
It's fine.
Well, okay, yeah. This might be too much of the podcast, too.
My dad listens.
Like, never mind. Sorry, Dad. Never mind. I'm not even going to talk about it.
Okay, ready
It's
for the
fine.
next story?
Yeah.
All right, this one's a short one.
Oh. Wow.
Would you date a guy whose hobby is boudoir photography? So I suck at online dating. My last relationship ended over a year ago, and I've been on Bumble for about 6 months now. Just started chatting to a new guy. All is going well. He recently told me one of his hobbies is boudoir photography, and I honestly don't know how I feel about it. I often struggle with defining how I feel about things, but this one has really thrown me for a loop. Help? Would this bother you at all?
Yes.
Like, what do you mean it's a hobby?
What do you mean it's a hobby? That's not a hobby.
I feel like it's one of those creepy guys. So in high school, I was friends with this guy. Then he got kind of weird. You know how high school people develop. It was like we were friends for 2 years, and then the third year of high school, I was like, you're getting sus. So anyway, he became a photographer.
Because your brain was forming and his wasn't. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah. So he becomes a photographer. I hope he doesn't listen to this, but I heard about him taking photos of other girls in our class, and he would do, like we talked about in the other episode, where it's like, oh, like, I just want to do some portraits of you. Takes you to, like, an old abandoned building for, like, the vibes, because that was very 2016 of us, 2015. And
Had lots of
then
those.
it's like, well, do you want to try some, like, topless? But, like, you can cover. And it's like, oh, you want to do some where you don't cover? Oh, do you want to do some full nude, or, like, in your underwear? Like, let's try this. And then it's like you're just in this really uncomfortable situation. And so
Oh my God.
you can tell because I've talked about it multiple times. I take a lot of issue with male boudoir photographers.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's very
I
fair.
just think not a lot have pure intentions, which, you know, like, I don't have a problem with male photographers who do have good intentions. Like, I don't think everybody's a creep, but I think most of them are creeps.
That's fair. I think that even if they're not able to portray that they're not creepy, it comes across as creepy.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to that, what we were talking about, like, imagine them all as 5-year-old boys excited about T-Rexes.
Yeah.
And, like, dinosaurs in general.
Yeah.
Like, they can't show their excitement and hype towards a client without it coming across as, hey, I'm a man. I have a dick.
Exactly.
Like,
it's like, oh, so sexy. I'm
Yeah.
like we can say that.
see, that's the thing. For other people, I don't care what you do. Like, what you say, that's fine, whatever. It's your business. Run it how you want.
Yeah.
For me, any word that would make me uncomfy, if a man said it to me, like a random crusty dusty, I will not say it.
Yeah.
I don't call clients sexy. I don't call them hot. I don't say, like, oh, so fuckable or whatever.
Will
I don't
you
say any of that.
like in like not being like, oh, you're so sexy.
Yeah.
Being like this, like, do you want to do like more of a sexy pose?
Oh,
or
for
like,
sure.
Okay,
I mean, if
so
it's a
that's-
descriptor,
yeah,
if it's
yeah,
a descriptor of like the pose itself,
yeah,
whatever, of course.
Like, oh, what a sexy vibe, but not like you're sexy.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But for me, I try to choose words that can be whatever you want them to be. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, you look delicious. Bitch, look at you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, titties be tittying.
Yeah.
So take that how you want it.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not
more
saying,
playful,
wow, your
yeah.
cleavage is like way up to your nostrils.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, titties be tittying, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I have taught so many workshops and I have done like one-on-one mentors with male photographers that want to be boudoir photographers. I actually just had a consult the other day with one and I was like, no,
Oh wow.
say goodbye.
Yeah.
But it is the vibe. And if you can see that they're just nerdy little boys that love their camera and want to make people feel delicious,
Yeah.
I will absolutely work with you. I will train you on how to not give creepy vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, ooh, you just like boobs?
Yeah.
Like, we all like boobs. Like, to me, everything is a boob. Like, if your arm is squishy, it's a boob. We love it. If your leg is squishy, it's a boob. The thigh route's a boob. We just love soft things. We love things that are just fun and, like, you're an Aphrodite. Like, you are literally just a Greek goddess statue. Beautiful. I love that. But if a man was like, I love boobs, Girl, that makes me uncomfy. Don't be saying that. Like, and it's tough because it is such a double standard, and I feel I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. I almost feel like a negative way. I feel like I'm being very non-inclusive with it.
Yeah.
But I've had both good and bad experiences. So I try to let the good experiences with male photographers outweigh the bad.
Yeah.
But I personally, this is kind of the like, I don't know. I personally have and never will have a male photographer shoot my boudoir photos.
Yeah.
And it is simply for me because they don't see my insecurities as quickly and as easily as I see women's insecurities.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to tell you that I don't want my arms, flat against my body twice the size that they would have normally been.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind my arms. Do I love them? Are they my favorite? No. But do I want them smushed against my body to move my boob? No, girl. I know how to do that without smushing my arms.
Right.
So, yeah.
Something else, too, with male photographers is, at least from what I've seen on Facebook and just generally photographers in our area, is they shoot more Sports Illustrated type boudoir versus, like, we do soft, sexy, like, not necessarily just, like, pretty. Like, I know you've done more, like, fun kind of chains, ropes, whatever, but...
Oh, I do that, yeah. I might be doing that. It's fine. Yeah, I think... when male photographers shoot a model and have a boudoir portfolio, it's a lot different than shooting a quote unquote normal everyday person.
Yeah.
And that's the hard stuff. Like, I can shoot a model that has been doing this for 10 years, knows how to pose, knows how to do their face, knows how to do that like seductress, look up at you kind of eyeball thing.
Yeah.
Whereas most people will be like, hello.
Yeah. No.
And I like have to explain to you, don't shove your chin down. Don't raise your freaking eyebrows. You got to pull your chin up and kind of like, close your eyes and then open them on 3. Like, whereas I feel like men feel like it's easy because they had a partner do that to them once. And they're like, oh, well, she had these sultry eyes. Just do a sultry eye. Yeah. Girl, none of us know how to do that unless we're in love with you.
I would panic.
Literally. Yeah. Like, I could do that to the person I'm with. Yeah. Because I'm with him. I love him, whatever. But if a male photographer was like, do that like bedroom eye thing. What bedroom eye?
But also, like...
where I close them? Again, like, which one?
Like, I would be uncomfortable giving bedroom eyes to a male photographer.
Yes! Like, honey, baby child, you are not the one for me, thank you.
Yeah.
No.
So I know it's not am I the asshole, but...
Oh, yeah, no. I liked it. But the hobby? Girl, what do you mean he's a hobby boudoir photographer? Yeah. A hobby photographer is one thing. But how do you hobby a boudoir photographer?
Oh, it's fun for me to have naked girls on my computer while I'm editing.
Are you just saying that... you want to take pictures of the women that are on Bumble? Right. Or you said, like, what you mean? What you mean?
Yeah. And question mark. How is he finding these girls, too?
Question mark.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. That's sus.
So this next story is going to absolutely piss you off.
I'm going to punch somebody in the face?
Yeah.
With my love.
And I have, like, a similar, like, story in my experience, too, that I'll share. So this one is from the Reddit thread, Are the Straights Okay?
Are the Straights unwell?
Amazing thread. Honestly, you guys need to look through it if you haven't before. So they posted screenshots that are excerpts from a local boudoir photographer's website. So this is copy that's on their actual website that they're promoting themselves on. All right, here we go. Okay. Nervous anticipation about a sexy photo shoot is normal. Let's go into detail about your nervous anticipation here. You'll be glad you read this article. Some ladies are nervous because they have them italicized. Some ladies are nervous because they're not sure what their husband or boyfriend will think about them being photographed by another man. Trust me, as a man, we do not think like that. We've actually encouraged ladies to bring their guys with them to the shoot. For a guy, this is like going to a Playboy shoot and you get to take the playmate home. We have never had an instance where a man was upset because I am a male photographer. There is also an added benefit to having a male photographer. The photographer thinks like a man. The majority of these gifts are given to a lady's special man. Most women photographers think in the realm of cute and pretty. These ideas just don't compute with a normal man. A normal man wants something more sensual and sexual in nature. To be brief, he wants something hot and with as little clothing as possible. We do not have a woman photographer, but before you leave, think of what you want to do. You are giving an intimate gift to the one you love, and you don't want to give him something that is pretty and frilly. I know you girls love that stuff, but for us men, it just doesn't compute.
Sorry. I'm unwell. I'm so unwell.
We don't get it. However, a male photographer knows what a man wants. My wife and I work together to do something of a mix of your likings and his, but we mostly shoot for him unless told otherwise.
I think I just threw up.
The tone of it. And maybe I read it in a different tone than he was trying to give, but I don't care. It doesn't compute. We're not frilly. These photos aren't for you. They're for your man. Like, hello?
I know what I'm doing because I'm a man. I know what men want. Sir, how old are you first, second, and third of all?
Yeah.
How old are you? Are you crusty? Are you... Sir. Okay, cool. So what? So like what? Just question mark. The whole thing is just a question mark for me.
Yeah, honestly, it's not even like an am I the asshole question. It's just like, what is this? Like help me. Mom, come get me. I'm scared.
Can I literally just like report something to the internet and be like, this is bad?
Yeah.
Like take it off the internet.
Yeah.
Cancel their subscription. I'll pay for it.
Are the straights okay?
Are the straights okay?
Like perfect thread for this, honestly. I am deeply disturbed by this.
Girl.
But again, it like goes back to the whole thing of like male photographers are creepy. And he's like, oh, you get to take the playmate home.
That part. So, okay, so he literally said that we don't have a female photographer, but my wife and I.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Does she help with posing?
Literally, is she there? Because if she's there and she's letting you say all this bullshit, is she well?
Yeah.
Is she okay?
Yeah.
Does she need a wellness check?
Yeah.
I'll show up. It's no problem.
She is simping over this man if she's okay with him.
Literally. And you know, I just know what he looks like. In my head, I know what he looks like.
What do you think he looks like?
He is 54 years old, 5'7". He is salt and pepper, but more salt than pepper. He's got a circular bald spot in the back. He was in some branch of the military, probably. So he was really fit for about 4 years of his adult life, from 18 to 22. And then he bought a camera and thought he was going to be hot shit. And do you know what? He wasn't. He wasn't, in fact. And now he's telling women what men want, and that he's going to give the men what they want. But through the women. But the women are literally just, what are they? Just passive bystanders?
Like, it sounds so like you're an item, an object.
Literally. Oh, he could have been like an auctioneer in a different life or something. That makes sense.
Yeah. He's like, I am selling you a product, and the product is your woman.
Exactly, but your
Actually,
playboy.
the product is yourself. He's like, hey, woman. Oh, he's the type of one that, he's the type of man that would call women females.
Oh, gross. Well, that female over there. Girl, what do you mean?
He totally would.
That's yucky.
But my, like, creepy photographer story similar to this was a guy I was, like, a little bit interested in. We were, like, flirty in the Instagram DMs. And we did, like, a FaceTime. And he was, like, you know, like, telling me about, like, some lighting things and whatever. And then my tell for any photographer that I've ever, like, sought out, like, dating wise, is I always ask them about boudoir photography, because it just says a lot about them, like, right off the bat.
Truly.
I'm like, I need to know if they do boudoir photography.
Exactly.
I need to know how they feel about it. And if they do it, I'm always like, well, like, how does that, like, how do you make people feel comfortable? Like, do you think it's weird? How do you feel about creepy male photographers? Whatever. And so this guy goes, yeah, no, I definitely have, like, great boundaries with that. It's really healthy. Like, I don't see them as, like, this, that, and the other. I'm like, okay, cool. And then he goes, I mean, do I think it's hot while I'm editing that there's a half naked girl on my screen? Like, am I going to get a little hard? Like, yeah, I can't help it. And I was like, I'm scared.
I can't help it. I can't
So
help it.
immediately cut that off. But,
Immediately no.
like, that's what I mean. Like, I've just only had, like, weird male boudoir stories experience. So, like, I'm jaded for sure. But this guy is feral. Just, this is what your man wants. I can't, it's just bumming me out too from being like, you know, boudoir is for mostly women, I would say. Yeah. And it's like just dissing what we do. It's like, no one wants your bows and frills, woman, female.
Jesus. That's just so, I don't know. I'm still kind of like nauseous about this. I'm like, ooh, girl, I feel uncomfy for you.
Yeah.
This is like second and third hand embarrassment. Like,
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
Truly. How are you not embarrassed about this?
How are you not self-aware?
Well, I mean, we're not surprised, but like.
I mean, yeah. Especially
how,
given
though?
the visual you gave for us.
But how, though? Yucky. Yeah. Okay. So, all in all, probably wouldn't hire him. Props not.
Probably don't.
Props don't. Props don't. It probably wouldn't be me either.
I wish they posted a link to the actual website
Stop.
instead. They cropped the screenshot so you couldn't see who the photographer
Honestly,
was.
you probably could do like.
Reverse
Would
image.
maybe.
Oh, the copy.
Yeah, like you could just copy and paste that copy into
Okay, y'all.
Google.
I'm gonna look for it, and if I find it, I'm putting it in the
I need
bio
you to.
of this or description of this
Literally.
episode. I'm
And
gonna put a link.
You should also put like the timestamp on it so people don't accidentally hire that guy and think that you're recommending him.
I'll link the Reddit post
Yes.
and
Oh,
his
please.
post so that they can
Please,
see
please.
everything.
Oh, I would die.
Is that messy?
I mean, if it is,
Am
like,
I the drama?
me and you. Are you the problem? No. But the drama, maybe. I'm like, it's fine. We're fine. We're messy.
Just on this one, yeah.
It's whatever. He deserves
deserves it.
Like, if he makes people feel that uncomfortable with literally just the copy on his website, imagine how he makes them feel in real life.
And I want to see his work. Like, I kind of hope he's
I know
like
what
a
it
bad
looks
photographer.
like. I know what it looks like. It is the traditional studio lighting where they are perfectly the exact same lit for the entire body.
Yeah.
They're laying in like a mermaid position where their eyes are looking up like little doe eyes at somebody. And then when he goes a little raunchy, a little crazy, a little scary, like, wow, amazing. Let me get that real spice. He's going to have them laying on their stomach, booty up in the air in some fishnet tights, no underwear, feet crossed at the ankles with these big, gigantic, like, platform heels.
Oh,
from
yeah.
the early...
It's always the platform.
Oh, it is.
That's
It
what I'm
is.
saying. Sports Illustrated.
Literally. And he's going to be like, this is so edgy. This is what your man wants. This is what your man wants. Bitch, my man doesn't have a foot fetish. Like, he doesn't need to see my little tootsies
Maybe the photographer does.
in my little shoes with my little ankles crossed. No, girl. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, maybe you do. I love it for you. I would never kink shame you. I'm shaming you as a person because you make me feel uncomfy. But, like, if you have a foot fetish, pop off. I love it for you.
Yeah, no judgment.
But him, ick.
Have you ever done like foot?
Oh, yeah,
boudoir
100%.
photos for people. Yeah,
100%.
Cute.
I've had sessions that were so, like, strict about, like, my client's partner was very strict about what they do with their shoes. Like, shoes can't touch the floor kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
Like, these shoes, pristine. Mwah. Like, very expensive shoes.
That's
and
amazing.
multiple pairs of these $4,000 or $5,000 shoes.
Oh wow.
Like, insane. So beautiful, so wonderful. And my client's like, yeah, I don't wear these anywhere. I was like, what?
You're
Okay.
like, I would.
Like, I would totally. She's like, nope, I don't wear these anywhere. Except for, I was like, oh, I got you, girl.
Oh.
I got you. I understand.
She's like, these are for fun.
These are just for the funsies. And I love that. I was like, okay, that's great.
Oh, that's cute that you photographed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. It was
Yeah.
wonderful. I've done a lot of those where it's maybe less about the feet,
Yeah.
but feet are included for sure. Maybe 25% about the
Yeah,
feet, you
yeah.
know? So they're like, I'm going to give them something. I was like,
Little
okay.
tasteful footage.
I give them something. No problem. So, yeah.
Oh my
No,
God,
I
that's
love
so
that.
cute.
I love when clients come in and they're like, oh, my so-and-so he just loves a sundress. And then they pull out the sundress. I'm like, that's just like a bodycon maxi dress. Does he not know what a sundress is? But
Men do
okay.
not. I went on a whole TikTok deep dive because men are like, it's
It's just sundress season.
Yeah, sundress season. I was like,
Just because you saw on Pornhub that some girl in a maxi dress got bent over
Yeah.
does not mean that's a sundress.
yeah.
Girl, that's Fashion Nova. Like, that's just their vibe, and I love that. But also, a sundress is this, not this, but like a cute little frilly, floppy little thing. If it looks like Slutty Fairy cottagecore, it's more of a sundress.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Above the knee.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. It doesn't have to be like up your butt crack, but
Yeah.
like above the knee for
I
sure.
want like some frills.
Literally.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have like a little frilly sleeve, then it,
Yeah.
for me, it's not a sundress. Like, thank
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
It's whatever.
Wow, we went down a wild rabbit
That's
hole.
I'm
but
not surprised.
those are all my stories for
I
today.
love that. Ooh.
Welcome to the first Reddit episode.
Yeah,
Ending on a terrible note, honestly.
I was like, could we not have ended on a different?
I should have rearranged these better.
Because he made me angry.
Yeah.
That's okay.
like-
It's probably better to be nauseous about some crusty, dusty man at the end than at
Yeah.
the beginning. So
That's true. We would have brought it up for the rest of
oh
the
my
episode.
god, yes.
It was like, you know what's worse than this though is that
Craig.
photographer.
That Craig.
Well, let everybody know again where they can find you on the internet.
On the internet, so you can find me on the Instagram. Probably easiest to look up my personal account because all my Boudoir accounts, they get shadow banned and you have to type them in very precisely. But my personal is Lindsey Lay, Lindsey Lay. And then Boudoir is LL Photo with 2 underscores. How exciting. But if you don't put those underscores, you're not going to find it. And then don't find me on Facebook because that's strange. On TikTok, I don't know, besties. I let my man kind of like take over my TikTok because he wanted to do TikTok shop, and I was like, you take it.
Good luck.
So don't be doing that one either, probably.
But Instagram's fabulous.
But Instagram is great. So.
And then for me, you can find me on TikTok and Instagram at 1828 Collective, and you can find more about the podcast and photo education at 1828 Photo Education. I will see you guys next time.